y'all. This sun is giving it to y'all. Hey guys. So y'all know yesterday we took all the way off from work and we had a wonderful day, a wonderful play day with the girls, and the girls being my mama, my grandmama, and Corinne. So that was super awesome. Again, super shout out to Corinne. She held it down. I was so freaking tired. And I was driving and it was like, but we stopped in Baltimore. And so from Baltimore, we switched and she drove the rest of the way. And then she drove home from my home, which is about an hour and a half drive for her. So, woof, y'all. I was able to get a video edited between last night and this morning. And so that will be coming out. Because it's really important to me, I don't know, to just really obviously push myself to the limits while still feeling good. That's important, y'all. We are not feeling like, oh my goodness, we're about to be on a brink of a breakdown, whether that's a physical crash, an emotional crash, a mental crash. Usually for me, the first thing to crash is my emotions. My emotions will crash, y'all, and that means I will cry. Just my emotions be out of whack, but I'm not feeling that. I'm feeling super good. We're on our way to work right now. I had a goal. I wasn't supposed to be taking any vacation time for this before this holiday, right? So that meant between last week and this week I was going to work my 80 hours. We don't think that's going to get done, but now it's a game of, ooh, how much will we get done and how much time will I not have to use? Now it's already going on 8:30, so I could have been at work earlier, but clearly rest is important. So I just really make sure that I get my rest. I wake up, and then of course one of the first things I like to do is make sure that my YouTube is straight for the day, meaning that if I have a video I plan to come out, that's all ready. So that's what I did this morning. Then I had to get my car packed up for the day because today we need to make some post office runs. This will be our last post office run before the holiday. I don't expect any of this stuff to reach any of their destinations before Christmas, but it's on my schedule today to go to do the post office. One of the things I have to do at the post office, outside of mailing off my own personal things, whether they're Christmas cards to people, don't judge, or orders. Now, orders ain't my fault. Orders are because they just came in to make this run. So thank you all so much who are ordering the books, Holler at the Moon and or All Black Girls Ain't Got Rhythm, which is a collection of poetry. Holler at the Moon is a novel that I wrote based off of my own tragic life at the time. Your girl was tragic. Back when I wrote that book, I was really trying to figure out what was my issues with men. Like, I would get into these relationships, but you know, nothing would stick, or I just wasn't attracting the right people. And so it started off as an exercise, almost like a therapy exercise, like a letter to my father as to what went wrong. I said, let me figure out my relationship with my dad and then kind of see what's what with my relationships. So in this book, it ended up being like, I didn't know I was going to write a book. I was writing a freaking letter, but then the letter turned out to be like 30 pages long. So when that happened, I was like, wait a minute, I can take this and turn it into a book. So the stars of this book is the main two culprits, the main two characters at that time, which was my relationship with my father from when we were kids and all of the F stuff he did. Good gracious, y'all. He had a substance abuse problem. And just that and how it affected not just me, but my sisters, because we all process this stuff differently. I had one sister who processed it as if we just pour more love onto him, things could be better. Then I had another sister who was the youngest who felt like there was a legacy there because, you know, we always heard the legacy of my father. He was a bad man. He fought. He did this. The whole family could fight. They could beat up the whole world. They could beat up everybody with their eyes closed. And so I have a sister who really embodied that. Then there's me. The way it affected me personally was distance. I don't do love. I don't get into relationships that can personally affect my coins. It was always about coins for me. And the reason why it was always about coins is because we had so little of it because of my father's issues. We had so many financial issues growing up. So I felt like loving a man was the downfall of a woman, right? So these are the things. So therefore, I would not get into deep relationships with people. And then some of the people I did get into deep relationships with were just all the way messed up. Introducing the character in the book, Brent, who is the boyfriend of one of the sisters who actually was me. That was based off of my worst relationship ever. And then the crazy part about that relationship is the book doesn't even go through all the stuff I went through personally with this guy. And the only reason why is because it would have stopped becoming unbelievable. Like, what? So therefore, there's only a few instances like the fight with Sheila. I think her name was Sheila in the book, or is her name Sheila in real life? I can't even remember. But the fight with her because this girl popped up at his house, and we end up having to go to court over that one. So yeah, so Holla at the Moon is my novel that ultimately, the ultimate lesson in that novel is there comes a time where you have to take stock of your life and holler, scream, yell at whatever it is that you think is outside of you. And in this case, it's the moon, the thing that controls the tide, destiny. You know, when they say a full moon is out, people act crazy. That thing that you think is outside of yourself, that you think is an excuse in yourself and for your life and for your circumstances. Sometimes you got to yell and holler and take your life back and say, you know what? No. It stops here. From this day forward, I'm doing something different. From this day forward, I'm back in control. And so that is that novel. Y'all. So yeah. What's this video about? Oh, okay, today. I'm like, I went off on a tangent. I didn't even plan on talking about the book or anything. But that's what that is. I also have another video up here that's almost like a trailer to the book. I'm going to link that here in case for those of you who've never seen the trailer to the book. That was a wonderful thing that somebody did for me. And my sisters acted in it. My son acted in it. I had all the people acting in it. We actually even did a casting call for some actors to act in it. And that was such a beautiful project. So I'm gonna link that here. And in the meantime, I have an ex-tenant, a student intern who rented a room from me last year, and she accidentally mailed something to my house. Now, when I received this thing at my house, I didn't know where it came from because it didn't have her name on it. It had the name of who she was gifting it to on it. But y'all know me. I had planned on writing like return to sender and putting it back, but I never got around to doing that because mail is like not high on my list of priorities. And so she texted me the other day about, oops, I accidentally mailed something to your house that was meant to be a gift for somebody. Could you mail it back out for me and she'll pay me, you know, she'll cash out me the money or whatever. And so today, again, is the first day that I've had in my schedule to get to the post office. So I'm going to do that. She was really hoping that it could get there before Christmas, but I don't think that's going to happen. But I'm going to look at the mailing options and see what the post office has. And if it costs some extra bucks to kind of make that happen, like overnight mail it or whatever they do. Today's Wednesday. Yeah, it's a possibility. I'll just go ahead and pay that because I've been super blessed this season and it's no biggie. So we'll see. But if it's a ridiculous amount or if it's too late, the ship has sailed, then we won't be doing that. Why I felt like I want to do a video on what is it called? Inflation. Because I've had some people when I put in my video about I got a raise 6.12%. Why? All right. That whole video was all about counting your blessings and counting your blessings by any means necessary. Why even with that lesson, even with the lesson of counting your blessings by any means necessary, why did I have people in the comments subtracting from my blessings? First of all, if you're going to subtract from blessings, subtract from your own blessings. Don't come over here and start subtracting from mine. No. We don't do that. We don't do that. That is against everything I'm saying. I have so many people who ask me about the art of manifestation. And I told you, I didn't make one neat video about it. My whole life is a study, is a case study in manifesting. So when I come up here and I'm giving you the clues and the evidence as to what I do, because you see the evidence all throughout my life, right? So when I show you the hows of it, I don't understand how people still come and try to do the exact opposite. If that's working for your life, awesome. Show me the evidence of that working for your life. Show me how your life is so awesome and you love it by complaining and by criticizing these things that have nothing to do with you. Because, hey, if you have a job and your job is not giving you the raise you think you deserve, or the raise that keeps up with your imaginary inflation. And I'm only saying imaginary because everybody came with a whole different number of what inflation was. Which one is it? Is it 10%? Is it 5%? Is it 6.5%? What is it? So if you have a job that you feel is not giving you what you need, that's your fault. Leave the job. Go find something that you think is going to give you all that you want and need. That's their business. That's their dream. Any of us working a job, we are choosing to work in somebody else's dream, because it's not our dream, right? That's their ish. We're just a piece of their dream. Their dream was to have people to run their job, their business for them, and that's who we are. So because that is my choice to work a 9 to 5 in somebody else's company, all I can really do is give praise. I give praise. That's what I do, guys. And if it's that bad where something is so unjust and so unfair, I make a change in my own life. I leave. I do something different. But all of this shifts around energy, because whatever you're critiquing today, you will critique tomorrow. So yeah. So my whole thing is trust and believe. A job does not have to give you a raise. Not to say it's right. It's not. But they don't have to. They can come up with all the excuses, which we know that they will. They'll come up with excuses from recession. They will come up with excuses to the pandemic. They will come up with all kinds of excuses not to give you something. So therefore, I feel like when you do get what you get, go ahead and praise it. Go ahead and count your blessings, because ultimately, everything that we're blessed with doesn't come from man alone. It comes from God. Okay? When you learn to praise, when you learn the art of gratitude and the art of praise, you will get more. And it doesn't have to come through that one source of a job. It doesn't. All of this stuff goes together. But I wanted to do a video on inflation because I think that some of us have the math all wrong. When we say there's, let's say 5% inflation, some of y'all are acting like 5% means 5% of your personal income. No. 5% inflation is an average of what things have risen in price, an average across the board. So if we take a loaf of bread, it means that the price of bread increased 5% of what it used to be. Not 5% of your income. Not 5% of your raise. You don't get a raise and then give everything back to because of inflation. Come on, guys. Not all of you guys. Some of you guys. Come on. Then the other part I wanted to say as far as inflation is concerned. Again, be careful about the narratives you accept to be true in your life because of what the media is trying to shove down your throat. Be careful. Because even if they say inflation inflated 5%, think about, do some critical thinking. Do some critical analysis of what is true for your life. Because everything that they're taking, that they're adding up for inflation doesn't even apply to you. For instance, gas. The price of gas went up. That has nothing to do with me, babes. I don't have a gas car. I have a Tesla. I don't use gas. So that is null and void in my life. If they say the price of rent increased, well, did the price of your rent increase? Because rent didn't increase everywhere. Do you even have rent, or do you have a mortgage? Did your mortgage increase? Now, yes, maybe your taxes on your property increased because the value of your property increased or whatever. Maybe that's a thing. But what percent of that is true for you? What percent of that increased for your taxes? One. And then two, when you look at the overall averages of things that increase in your life, what percent of the percent is that in your life? So what I'm saying is, maybe your inflation in your own personal life only went up 2% and not 5%. Maybe it only went up 1%, or maybe it went up no percent. But you know what the problem is? Some of us are too lazy to do the math of our own lives. That's what it is. And so we quickly accept the math that they tell us. And then we make that our truth. And then that's where things go wrong. It's not our truth. It's not our truth. Remember, whatever we believe will manifest in our life. So if you believe that your life inflated by 5%, your life will inflate by 5%. It will find a way, because you're not a liar. You can't be a liar. So whatever you believe for yourself to be true, whatever you say for yourself to be true, has to be true, even if it's not true. It has to become the truth. This is why I choose to focus on all of the positive aspects of my life, so that that can be my truth. So that can be the clear, overwhelming truth of my life, more so than the other stuff. The other stuff is going to happen, yeah, but it doesn't have to be the overall truth of your life. It can be the truth for a little moment, or you can make it the truth of your lifetime. What do you want to do? I choose to let it be a truth for a little moment. A truth for a little moment, but let the overwhelming abundance truth of my life be all that I'm showing you. Abundance, happiness, laughter, love, just, manifesting, speaking the thing into existence, the things that I want, the things that are good for me. So yeah. So like I said, I got a 6.12% raise. Not a 1.12% raise, not a 0% raise, not a ha 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 ha, you think you got a raise but you didn't. Yes, I did. And then, like I said, I also had to say in a comment that 6%, my 6%, it's not the same across the board, right? Because it's 6% of your income, of your salary. So my 6% is not going to look like the next person's 6%. There's somebody's 6% that's going to be way more than my 6%. But what I said was my 6% gave me over 10 figures added to my salary. Some people have to leave a job and go get a whole nother job just to get another 5 figures. Some people have to go back to school and get a whole degree and to get a whole new skill set to get a bump that significant. It's interesting that I have to explain this, but then when I think about it, it's because a lot of us don't think about it like this. So I'm just offering a different perspective, really. Take for it what you must, what you will. And if you want to say math is math and really stick to your guns on, no, inflation is 6%, so really you only got a 0.12%. If you want to stick with that and believe that, for me, fine. But what I love is my life is all about what I believe for me. And I just want you guys to believe something different for you as well. I think that's it, y'all. We have a hair appointment today. We have a hair appointment. I think I have a hair appointment today. I think it's today. So we'll be getting that done. And then we got paid today. Today is Wednesday. But I got paid today because of the holidays, and I wanted to do a paycheck budget. I normally do paycheck budgets, but I think we talked about so many other things that a paycheck budget probably isn't necessary. But the only reason why I wanted to do a paycheck budget is because, and maybe I'll do one really fast. I don't know. But the only reason why I want to do one is because this is probably my craziest month with the most. I spend the most in December out of all the years. I probably spend in December what I probably spend all year. I do that in December with gifts and holidays and being festive and buying and spoiling myself and all of that. So I wanted to kind of show how I work that out. But I don't know if I'm going to do it because it just seems crazy. Like, I don't know. All right, we're almost at work now. Talk to y'all later. Bye.